So this topic deals with the issue of when do I get interest on delayed refunds. Now that's often a challenge from SARS, and it's a challenge with taxpayers that yes, I'm not getting my refund, but at least I'm getting interest on my refund. And when it comes to the interest being paid, then there's a dispute, and SARS says you're not entitled to interest for various reasons. So let's just quickly run through the rules that determine when you get interest on delayed refunds. There are two issues that need to be considered. The one is if there's a suspension in the period of paying interest versus the period for which you get interest hasn't commenced yet. Now the second one is a disaster, because that means 5 years down the line you discover there's going to be no interest, as opposed to a simple suspension of a period. So you got paid interest up to a point, then it was suspended for a period, and then you get interest again going forward. So let's just quickly go through those rules. The issue that deals with suspension only relates to the first 21 days. If SARS asks for information in terms of in the first 21 days from the time that your VAT return has gone in, then if you do not provide SARS, but the actual wording of the act says if you prevent SARS from access to that information, then interest is suspended until such time as you provide the information. So let's take an example. Let's say this is on day 10. Or SARS asks for the information, it takes 30 days to provide the information, then day 11 starts after the expiry of those 30 days. That's how it works, or that's how it's supposed to work in practice. What the VAT Act says though, and people sometimes don't appreciate this, it says the 21-day period is suspended if SARS is prevented from getting access to the information. Now what we normally suggest to clients is when SARS asks for this information, you can see it's going to take a bit of time to collate the information. Write there to them immediately and tell them we are busy collating the information, but in the interim you're most welcome to come to our office and look at the information at our offices. Then they can never argue that they've been prevented from getting access to the information. That's just a little practical tool in practice. When it comes, however, to not a suspension but a late commencement of the time of when you get paid interest, that's a total different ballgame. And let's understand what those circumstances are. The first issue, or the first circumstance under which you'll get no interest is if any tax return, whether it's a VAT return or PAYE or income tax, if any tax return is due and it's outstanding, you will not get your refund and you will not get any interest until those returns are submitted. And the interest will start, or the 21-day period will commence when that return goes in. And that could be way down the line. The second significant instance where you will not get interest is if the VAT return is incorrect. Now, there's two instances there. It could be incorrect in the sense that it reflects the wrong amount of VAT payable. It could also be a disclosure issue. So you haven't declared your zero rateds, or you haven't declared your exempt supplies, for example. When it comes to incorrect disclosure of the amount payable, the 21-day period commences when the VAT return goes in on which those amounts are correctly stated. So when I submit the correct VAT return. When it comes to disclosure only, the Tax Administration Act says that you must write a letter to SARS saying that the non-disclosure does not have an impact on the amount payable. And only once SARS receives that document does the 21-day period commence. So that could have quite significant implications if there's a significant amount of refund which is due to you and you discover that you haven't disclosed something on the VAT return many years down the line. And then SARS comes back and says, but we're still waiting for your letter. Give us your letter, and then interest will be paid from that date onwards. In the interim, you will not get any interest. So hopefully that summarizes the main events that result in interest either not being payable or the period of interest just being suspended. It's all about good governance and good housekeeping within the VAT system in your organizations, and knowing your rights, of course.